Hey everybody, it's James. Welcome. I don't know what we're calling this. We are fast approaching the release of our latest album, Tin Man, and we're going to be playing live at the Mint here in Los Angeles on the 24th. And we thought it'd be a good idea if we just talked about what was behind some of the songs that are on the album. So I wanted to start with the first two cuts. Oh, by the way, I am. It's just delicious because I know what the album sounds like, and almost no one else does. I feel like I'm on the inside, and it's so good. I cannot wait for it to drop. Happy Juneteenth, by the way. So anyway, the first two cuts. At least as they are in my phone for viewing the tracks, are Civilized Man and Don't Worry Son. And Civilized Man I wrote up in Canada. I was doing a movie up there, and there's like a third AD. So you have the assistant director, very important, and you have the assistant director's minions. And there's second ADs, and they're pretty darn important too. And then you have third ADs, and they do a lot of the work, but they don't have a lot of power. But one of the things the third AD often does is corral the extras and tell them, okay, go over here now, go over there now. And this guy was just being really harsh. I'll say it. He was being abusive to the extras. And the extras have, an extra has almost no power on the set. And, if they wanted their pay for the day, they had to take it from this guy. And I asked him to please be a little kinder if you can. It was just upsetting to me to be around that situation. It was, it's not, it offends me, but also just it doesn't make it easy for me to work, easy for me to have fun when people around me are being abused. And he just wouldn't stop, and I finally went to his boss, the assistant director, and talked about it. And at that point, he started to try to find a way to mess me up, and it was a little tiny war for a while. And I ended up having fantasies of just choking him out, just beating him up. And I really thought about it, and I was thinking, I have these million-year-old voices inside me from the days before civilization that tell me that the best way to resolve a problem is to hit somebody. And these old voices, they don't serve me in a modern world. And sometimes they scream. And sometimes it's hard to be a civilized man. And the art of it is to not be ashamed of those voices, I guess. They're a reason why the species survived. I spent a long time being ashamed of them, but I don't have to be. I don't have to act on them either. And I didn't in this case. I didn't go beat anybody up. But that's where that song comes from. And then Don't Worry Son is a song that I wrote when I was on Buffy, actually. And Sullivan, who has quietly taken over the band in the last few years, guys, seriously, we don't make a musical decision without checking with Sullivan about what he thinks. He is a highly respected member of Ghost of the Robot at this point. He's 27, and he's just absolutely awesome. But this is back when he was quite young, and I had made a promise. I divorced his mom, and I had made a promise that I had read that kids from divorced families, if both parents are still fully engaged in the kids' lives, then the kids will be fine. That divorce doesn't scar them. And it's only when one parent is pushed to the side or decides not to fully engage for whatever reason that there's really harm done to the kids. So I said I'm going to call him every day, and I'm going to visit him every other weekend, and I'm going to be in his life all the time. And this was during the time when I was working 12 to 20 hours a day on Buffy. And finding time to call him once a day, it was really easy to say, oh, this day is off the hook. I do not have time to call Sullivan today. Also, he was pre-verbal in the beginning, and it was easy to rationalize, like, well, what's the use anyway? We're not really talking anyway. And it was really easy for me to think about, well, I'm really tired this week. It's probably not safe for me to go driving for 5.5 hours. Because I've said it before, but we would start work in the morning on 4:30 in the morning on Monday for Buffy, and we would get out when the sun came up on Saturday morning. And when you do that for months and months and 9 months a year, you get really, really, really tired, and it was very tempting. And then I read this book by the Dalai Lama, not to drop names. I don't remember anything about it except this one line, or this one paragraph, that he said that all of our lives were preparing for the moment of death, and that we should live our lives in a way that that'll give us a good death, so that we're not still angry at people, and most of all, we don't have a lot of regret about the actions that we took when we were walking around the world. And I thought about what kind of death I wanted, and I thought, I'm sitting in my trailer on Buffy, and I'm like, if I'm on my deathbed, old James Marsters, thinking about a television show, even if it's like a really good television show, and that's all I got to be proud of, that's only going to be so good. It may not be horrible, but it's not going to be as good as I hoped for. And what would I want? And I thought, well, if my son is grown and he's doing really well, and I know that I did everything I could to give him a chance at happiness and success, if he knows that I love him, and if I know that he loves me, and if he's there holding my hand as I pass, that's the kind of death I want. And it just kind of clarified everything. And after that, I really got into it. I was like, you know what? You can put any obstacle in my way. You can put a mountain in my way. You can put an ocean in my way. I'm going to get to my son. And the thing that happens when you drive on the highway and you're really, really tired and it's night, you know how they patch the highway with tar a lot, or there might be something going on, but for some reason, if you're really, really tired, you will hallucinate a black dog running right in front of your car, really fast. And if you swerve to avoid the dog, which is not really there, you will probably run off the road or run into another car and get into a huge accident, and people die because of hallucinating black dogs. And I'm riding down the freeway, and I more than once hallucinated a black dog, and I knew what was going on, and I was like, I'm driving. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pull over. I obviously need more coffee, and that's not going to stop me. And I don't know if that was completely safe, but I wrote a song about this idea of coming to visit Sullivan no matter what, and because this really, at the end of the day, was a song for him. How worth it was. How much fun I had hanging out with him. We had a little cottage on an almond orchard, and there were horses there, chickens, and I had 6 lightsabers hung up on the wall, and every evening all the kids from the area would show up at our little cottage, and we would pull the lightsabers down and just tear around this orchard and the property. I was the bad guy, and they would just beat the hell out of me with lightsabers. And the thing is, when you have 6-year-olds surrounding you and they're all just pounding on you, and you're trying to block, if they're just wailing on me, and if I just bump one of those 6-year-olds, just slightly bump, it's just tears. So it was a bit of an art form, and I was glad for every bit of training I had with sword work, just to protect the kids. And we just had a fabulous time. We'd make big Lego structures and then play Godzilla and knock them down. We'd take smoke bombs and put them in the Lego buildings and pretend to burn them down. We made commercials, funny little videos and stuff. We just had a great time. And so I wanted to reflect that I am going to get to this little heaven cottage with you no matter what. So those are the first two songs. I'm going to continue and write about the songs that, talk to you about the songs that I wrote. Who knows, maybe we can get Kevin to do one. He's given us San Francisco on this album. I think we're also going to be doing Is Shoes, which is kind of a play on Issues, which he wrote the music for on a previous album. But he's dropped a really great song called San Francisco. And I don't want to talk for Kevin. He's busy. He's got two young kids. Sullivan has two wonderful songs on this album. Maybe he wants to talk about his. Again, I can't promise what they're going to do, but I'll be back for sure and talk about myself, my favorite subject, and just what's kind of behind some of the songs that are on this album. Anyway, it was really good to be with you guys, and we'll do it again. Bye. And I don't know the button. What's the button to stop this? I don't really know. I'm gonna have to turn my phone off. I just don't know. Let's try the X. Hey everybody, I am so sorry I'm late. I am 13 minutes late to this. I'm a news junkie and the thing in Russia is popping off and I got drawn down the rabbit hole. I hope some of you are still, oh yes, there's some people still here. Thank you for holding on for me. Let's get off of Russia. We all know what's going on there, or who knows. But I want to talk about a few more songs that are going to be on this new album, Tin Man. The first would be Looking at You. And how do I say it? So I was in Wales, and I was shooting Torchwood, and my girlfriend was with me. And it was just a wonderful time. It's just a great set. John is just the most fabulous person. The whole cast of Torchwood is just so fun to work with. The directors were great. The producer is amazing. Russell D. Davies is just such a wonderful man. It was just like heaven on earth. And then the town, Cardiff, is amazing. And it was just heaven. And it was really good weather for some reason. It wasn't raining, which it often does in Cardiff, in Wales. And it was just blue skies. And we were taking a car back from the set. I think I got off early and we were going to have the afternoon together. And this tune just popped off in my head. I remember there's an English, I'm a little scrambled because I was like, oh no, I'm missing Instagram. So I'm trying to remember this guy's name, but he was the perfect interview. He was naughty. He would push the envelope. He's the guy that was in Notting Hill. Who's this guy, guys? Who's this guy that was the lead in Notting Hill? He's been in so many things. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, let it go. It'll come. Anyway, I love the way he gives interviews because he pushes the boundary. He just puts one toe over what is polite or what is acceptable. He just pushes it slightly. And so he looks like a rebel, but he doesn't get in trouble for it. And I always thought that was the way to go, and I still do. I probably don't do that as much, but I used to do it a lot. Just push it a little bit. And so I thought, how do I make a song about romance, a song about sex, and make it funny and just laced with double entendres? Let me kiss your blossom and make it mine. Is one of the lines in the song, and so trying to talk about it, trying to kind of wink, and we know what we're talking about, but also you could probably listen to the song with your kids or your mom or whatever, and not get too embarrassed by it, and just to see how far I could take that without being kind of weird about it. So it really came from just a really perfect place, just happy, just everything going well, and feeling like I was in a garden of earth with my love, and that we could make each other happy that afternoon. I guess is probably what I was thinking. Over Now is exactly the opposite. That's the second song I want to talk about. I was in a relationship. It was good for a while, and then it wasn't, and we broke up, and I had a hard time getting over this person. And she kept coming back into my mind. There were things I just didn't understand why it didn't work out. It was mysterious to me why it didn't work out, and she kept coming up into my mind, and I kept being hung up on the fact that it didn't work out for a long time. And then finally I was over it one day. I don't know why, but it was in the past finally. And so it's about kind of realizing how hung up I was on this person, only at the point where I kind of was able to make peace with it. And it's over now. It's over now. I think I get it, though. Yeah, it's over now. I think I get it, though it's been years since I saw your face. But I don't want to see you now. I used to want to see you all the time, but I don't want to see you now, and I don't want to hear about anything or anyone. I'm over it. Not that like I'm over it like that, but that, hey, I think I've moved on finally. And then really going back and maybe understanding a little more about this person and why it didn't work out, and how she had her own past and her own issues that might have kept her from meeting me halfway, as obviously I had my own issues too. We all do. I don't think the song is really mostly about my issues. It's really trying to understand her as a full human being. And that's probably why I came to peace with it. And so I think it's a relatively mature song, in that it is not blaming anyone anymore. You know how you're really mad when you break up with someone, or when you get broken up with, and it's all their fault and they're just a horrible person. That's the problem. And then after a while you start to think, no, we were just human beings and we just didn't find a way to come together for various reasons. And there's I hope, a bit of maturity in that song. So anyway, that's what I got this time. We'll be doing this again for sure, leading up to the show on the 24th. The band is playing the Mint on the 24th. That's here in Los Angeles. You can get tickets to that. Go to gotrmusic.com. GOTR goes up the robot. gotrmusic.com. You can get a link to tickets for that if you want. And Tin Man is going to be dropped on Wednesday. I cannot wait. I was listening to the final master, the final product. It's just like done. I was listening to it in the car. I was driving back from Orange County. I was doing some work, some recording in Orange County yesterday, and I was driving back and listening to it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for the world to hear this. But that'll be available on. You can also get a link at GOTR Music for that, but that's on Bandcamp.com. And I can't imagine anyone won't love this music. I don't know. I just think it's some of our best stuff ever. I'm so proud of it. Vocally, we've never been stronger. It's so good. Anyway, I can't wait for you to hear it, and I can't wait for you to tell me that you like it. And if you don't like it, that's okay too, but I think you will. Okay, guys. Bye-bye. And again, I don't know. Oh, there's the X. Okay, bye. Hey everybody, it's James. Welcome to Behind the Music, our third episode. I am enjoying some, I hate to say it, but really beautiful weather again here in Los Angeles. I know that a lot of you may be experiencing a lot of heat right now. And the weather people say that we may be having that now too. But for right now, the earth is kind. I'm in the shade just because I'm a vampire. I don't like direct sunlight. So I've got my little umbrella on top of me. Just to let you know, next week at this time, Sullivan will be doing this installment, and he'll be talking about two of his songs, Steady Hand and Home Alone. And then the following week, very close to the show, on the 22nd, Kevin and I will be doing a live stream to talk about our lyrics. San Francisco from Kevin and Louise from me. Kevin and I will be together. The whole band will be together. We're going to be at the rehearsal studio getting ready for the show, so it seemed like a good time to do it. Sullivan will be on the 15th. So all these are at the same time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. So easy to remember. But we'll be telling you guys about it. So today, I wanted to start with White Hot Girls. Which I've always worried might be offensive. It is. I always thought, if you take it wrong, it might be kind of a song which is angry about women. But in the truth, it's really a note to myself about how to find somebody who's really good for me. Because I wasn't doing it at the time. Someone just asked when the album's going to be on Spotify. It will be on Spotify, but not soon. The last album we did, we got so many listens on Spotify, and we made so little money. The album didn't even nearly pay for itself, even though a lot of people were listening to the music. I'm sure I'm not the only musician to be commenting about this situation. So we're trying to sell the album and maybe recoup the cost of making it before we put it on Spotify. So you can go to bandcamp.com or just gotrmusic.com. There's a link tree to everything that we're doing, including how to get the album. gotrmusic.com goes the robot, Anywho, so the White Hot Girls is really, it's about a note. It's like note to self. Moving forward, James, you might want to try this instead of what you've been doing. I read somewhere that both men and women fall in love from the outside in. And we start with the externals. We start with how someone looks, what kind of car they drive, what their clothes are, if they have good hair, stuff like that. And then, and that's with the initial attraction. And then we move into the internals of the person before we truly fall in love, And my problem is that I was just stopping there. I was just dating some really, really beautiful women, most, but not all, but most of whom ended up not being healthy for me, I guess. And maybe I wasn't healthy for them too. But at the time I wrote this song, I was really thinking, yes, having a good-looking girlfriend is nice, but it's not the only thing, dude. And if that's all that's important to you, you are opening yourself up to dating people who may not have much more than being good looking, And so the first verse is, well, a white hot girl will shred you if you don't know what you're doing. She'll have you rearrange her mirrors while she's kissing your best friend. I didn't have any dates kissing my best friend, but it felt like one of the worst things. She'll have you rearrange her mirrors. One of the things that I'm trying to look out for now are people who are too self-involved, really. People who only think about themselves. I like to hang around people who think about other people and consider their feelings, and maybe consider mine. And so if I'm in a relationship and all I'm doing is helping them position their own mirrors so they can, this is metaphorical, of course, look at themselves, it might not be a long-term situation. The second verse, well, then the chorus is, but those lips, those eyes, that skin, anyway, you're falling down. And I say, don't do it. Watch out, boy, just run. And really, I'm talking to myself. And the second verse is White Hawk Girl. Well, White Hawk Girl gets flirty when you take her off her counter. You can wind her up with baubles. She loves to see herself dance. And if I am choosing a woman as if she is some glitzy product, like, ooh, that's a nice purse. Ooh, that's a nice car. Ooh, that's a nice watch. Ooh, that's a nice woman. That is not the way to do it. She's a human being, and look at the human being. If I'm treating people like an acquisition, I'm opening myself for people who will use that and play that part. Yeah. She loves to see herself dance. Again, kind of the idea that someone is just looking at themselves, a woman who's like dancing, but she's only seeing herself as she's dancing. It's not just women who do this. Men do this too. I just don't date men. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't have the proclivity for that. Anyway, and then the third verse is, well, if you want to find this lover, she's not the girl in the Micro Mini. She wouldn't need all that attention. She's standing right next to you. So the woman of your dreams may not be wearing copious amounts of flashy jewelry and really, really overtly sexy clothes. She might be, but she might just be a confident human being who's dressed not so flashy, and she's right next to you, man. Just open your eyes. And then finally, it's those lips, those eyes, that skin. Anyway, you're falling down, and you'll fall down, and I'll say, go. Do it. Have fun. And so it's really me thinking, why don't you expand the list of things that you're looking for in a human being, and why don't you put good human being in that list? I wrote this song a while ago, and I hope that I have learned this lesson. I think I have, and we'll see. Cross your fingers for me, guys. The second song I wanted to talk about was "Up on Me," as in "You Can Give Up on Me." And I wrote this song. I was trying to date, and I was a single parent. And for you single parents out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's a lot of work to both be the provider and make all the money, and then also be the caregiver and give all of the support and love and structure at the same time. You're really doing double duty in that way. And I just didn't have a lot of time. And I was dating someone who really wanted a very full relationship, and I kept saying, I can't really offer that. I can offer some dates and stuff, but I just don't. My plate is too full right now. I don't want to lie to you and say that I'm going to be a full-on boyfriend of your dreams, because I'm just being a dad right now. And so it starts. I know you are trying to help me when you say the things you say, but my head can't wrap around it that there could be another way. The person was trying to help me see that I could juggle all of these things, and I was just like, I don't see that. I don't think you're right about that. I don't think, maybe even trying to juggle, maybe that's the wrong thing to do, maybe just realizing where I'm at and what I can give and what I can is better. And so the chorus is, open your eyes, what do you see? I'm on my knees, I'm hopeless, you can give up on me, it ain't no thing. And it's not that I'm a helpless person. It's not that I feel sorry for myself. It's just that I'm helpless in regards to being the perfect boyfriend for you. and I'm on my knees. Again, it's not self-pity. It's just single parents out there. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's oftentimes it's just feeling overwhelmed at all times, and that you're just trying to make it to your pillow, man. Just like, when can I sleep? I can just close my eyes again. And again, this is in my past. My kids are grown now, but you know, my plate's full, so it's okay to give up on me. It's okay to say, oh, this doesn't work. I've played my hand. I've cast my lot in. Now there ain't no turning back. But what that's done and where it leaves us, oh my God, it's looking black. Again, you know, I've played my hand. I've made my choice. I am a single parent. I've got 2 kids. Cast my lot in is a reference to drawing lots, and I guess in my mind was Salem. How did that work? There was a short story called The Lottery, and people would put their lots in, and then one person would be chosen, and they would be stoned to death. I'm just realizing this is self-pity. Oh my God. They would be stoned to death, and in the short story, you never know why they're choosing someone to do that to. It's left open for your interpretation. Oh wow, yeah. Well, okay, maybe a little self-pity in that. I guess I wish that I could date this person more fully, and maybe single parents are allowed a little bit of self-pity. I don't know. And then it's come to me. Lay your head down, close your eyes, and fall with me. I won't think about tomorrow, 'cause tonight I'm feeling free. Which is kind of like, okay, I've just told you I can't be what you want me to be, but do you want to come over anyway and lay down and rest and hold each other? Can you give me what I want from you, even though I can't give you anywhere near what you want from me? Which is maybe kind of selfish. I don't know. But you know, it was her choice what she wanted to do with that. I just wanted to be honest. So yeah, you know, songs. It's kind of interesting to talk about the meaning behind the songs. A lot of musicians do not want to do this, but hey, man, I'm kind of an open book as a human being. I don't have a lot that I'm ashamed of anymore, and so I thought it would be fun to talk about what's behind these songs. So anyway, that is kind of the episode. I'm feeling guilty for the background, by the way. You know, I'm out by my pool. I live in this house. It's the only house I've ever bought, and it was after Buffy, and I still don't feel entirely comfortable here. I was poor for so long. I often feel like, whose house is this anyway? It's weird that I have a pool. It's a nice one, too. But I bought it because it was in a good school system. I bought it because it had enough bedrooms for my children. I bought it for the right reasons. And now that they're grown, I find myself decorating a 4-bedroom house with a pool. I don't know. What door did I walk through to get here? I often ask myself. I'm a very, very lucky man. And I'm very lucky that you all showed up with me to talk about the songs. So once again, next week will be Sullivan on Saturday, and the week after that will be Kevin and I, and I'll look forward to that. And also very much looking forward to all of these songs that we're talking about are all going to be played live at the Mint on the 24th of July, which is a Monday, I know, but it's the album release party, so we're just going to play the album front to back. And then we're gonna switch it up and do some other stuff, and I think it's gonna be a really interesting evening, a little different than a normal ghost show in a very good way, I think. And so we're all really, really excited to share this with you. For those of you who've listened to it, I think this new album, Tin Man, is our best album, frankly. And I know you probably are like, oh, he has to say that, he's trying to get people to buy the album. I know, but it's true this time. It really is. I'm so proud of it. We all are. So anyway, if you want to go to the Bandcamp, check out the album. You can listen to the songs 3 times before you have to pay any money. And then I think it's $1 per song and $10 for the whole album if you want to check it out.
Howdy, howdy. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you here today. This fine Saturday. Hello from Texas. It is, looks like it's about 100 degrees outside right now, which is not as bad as yesterday. It's about 5 degrees cooler than yesterday, so we're heading in the right direction. But I am staying inside. Went out in the morning for a run, which turned into a walk, which turned into a walk back, because 85 does not feel like 85 when the humidity is like 60-70%. So, so here I am to talk about some songs. We just put out an album recently, Tin Man. If you haven't checked it out, you should definitely check it out. I'll be talking a little bit about the lyrics that I wrote for this one. I've got 3 songs on the album. I think I'm going to talk about 2 of them today. Save one of them for another time. But yeah, so I've got this one blues song called "Steady Hand," and I kind of started playing it a little bit at the beginning of the video. And I must have been watching a bunch of Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is guitar player. I don't know if you've heard of him, but I think I was sitting in this exact spot and flipping through, social media, and I came across a reel of him playing real good. And there's one, I think it still circulates every now and again. It's just this very light playing high up on the fretboard, Like it's just very tasteful, in the zone kind of playing. And it really inspired me, and so I started getting recommended a bunch of Stevie Ray Vaughan. Long story short, that attitude, Texas blues. I'm in Texas, And so I started messing around with that, and I just thought it'd be nice to write a fast blues song. My dad likes to write a lot of blues songs. They tend to be there's different kinds of blues. I don't know how to really describe it, but it's not an up-tempo blues. So we have had a good amount of bluesy songs as a band, but I thought that it would be kind of fun to just jack up the tempo a little bit. And so out came this song called "Steady Hand." So I guess I'll just walk through some of the lyrics with you. Broadly speaking, it's about moving to Texas, so I think it's fitting the way it sounds. But it starts out, I know it's gonna happen tomorrow, I know it's gonna happen next year. No one knows what's gonna happen tomorrow. No one knows what's gonna happen next year. And so it's kind of foreshadows the next lyric. 'Cause I've been driving to the beat of a steady hand. The beat of a steady hand I always think of as the drummer's hand, and if you're listening to it, that's what I kind of think of. But really, that's just a way of saying I have a routine down. Going through life steadily, level-headed, understanding, where I'm going, or so I think. Nobody told me it could pull me across the land. So steady thinking and sort of trying to plan ahead led me to Texas because of the cost of living in California. Not to get too real on y'all, but that's what happened. Really trying to think about home ownership and growing up and just all of these things that are important that were really hard to do in an illegal sublet in Pasadena. So that was kind of the opening of the song. It's about thinking that my life is going steady, and then that steady thinking leading me, on a journey that, wasn't very steady in the beginning. So, what's the next one about? Upon a fantasy long shot, move on to find a brand new job. That's the same thing, right? This is a song about moving, and I hope it gets you to move. So yeah, that one's just about moving up on. No one's going to teach you everything. No one's going to take you by the hand to guide you down to the promised land, right? That is a personal responsibility type lyric, which was important for me because, just slowly taking more and more ownership over my life and trying to figure out, make my own decisions and stuff like that. You don't take me, you don't pay me, you don't take me. I got a bird in the hand. So if you take ownership of your life, no one can tell you that they gave you the things you have. That's what that is about. So it's sort of some of the positive aspects of taking ownership of your life down the road is you can really feel like your accomplishments and your failures are yours to own, right? So that's what that one was kind of about. And then we go, and that's just chicken nuggets, chicken nuggets, chicken nuggets. Yeah, I want some chicken nuggets. Ooh, yeah. I was just really hungry at the time, and that's what I was meaning to say through the guitar is that I really want chicken nuggets. So that solo kind of goes into a bit of left field for a bit sometimes in my writing, and then we bring it back around to the topic. As the song slows down. Now no one's gonna know. So no one's gonna know your background. Maybe you could write it yourself, move somewhere new, be whoever you want to be, right? I cut my hair real short. I was very clean cut when I first moved out here. Because I thought that was, going to law school and all that, but actually nice to just relax a little bit sometimes. Maybe you could write it yourself, thinking of the times I stayed alive. 0's much better than -5, let's climb. So, felt like I could start from 0 in Texas rather than, -5 just starting out in California. California's not really a place generally speaking, to start out in. You kind of come back after you've made some money. And so, yeah, 0 is much better than -5. That's basically what that's about. Let's climb. Little blank slate flying in from LA. You don't pay me, you didn't take me, I've got a bird in the hand. Bird in the hand is just like the things you carry with you. The abilities you carry. I guess that's confidence that you carry with you to kind of just materialize whatever you really want in life wherever you go. That's what that's about. And then I still want some chicken nuggets, oh yeah. So I was still pretty hungry at that time when I started playing the solo. I still wanted chicken nugs, so that's pretty much what the guitar is singing about, if you will, is the chicken nuggets. A lot of great fried food out in Texas, so definitely would recommend that. But that's the blues song. So basically a Stevie Ray Vaughan Texas blues, kind of pump it up a little bit. That's what that one's about. And we'll be playing it live on the 24th of July in LA at the Mint, which is a really cool 1930s kind of venue. I feel like mobsters were in there at some point back in the old days of LA, making deals, doing shady things. So there's just some interesting ghosts and souls in that building. You should definitely check it out. I'm gonna try to read some of the comments because I don't want to neglect some of these comments. Any chance of y'all doing a concert in Europe one day? I would love to. I would really, really, really like that. Love the story behind this. Very deep. Deep fried chicken nuggets. Germany would love to welcome GOTR again. That was such a fun show. I think I had just graduated high school and I was 18 and I was just me up there and I was singing. So hope I carried the tune. The Marsters men rock the hair curls. We do have curly hair. My dad has much curlier hair, much thicker hair. I'm one of the few sons who can say that their dad has thicker hair than them. His hair is so thick. It's like mashed potato thick. And so I'm very thankful for that going forward. Really interesting how you've detailed this new journey through your music. I mean, it's just what comes out, right? It's just what happens when you feel some type of way and you just pick up a guitar and you're like, yeah, you kinda made a difference on my mind. Yeah, you kinda made a difference on my mind. Even just something that simple, you know, a lot of people can make a difference on your mind. That's my most recent song. It could be a ghost song. Get this man some bugs, I think nugs. Say hi to Hello Donna. Could go for some chicken nuggets right now. Same. I will be there. So will I. Come to the Midwest. About that, I think we have an announcement that I probably shouldn't talk about too much, but Midwest folk might be happy about that soon. Guitar is sounding better than ever. What model guitar are you playing today? Love that question. I'm a guitar nerd. This is an American Professional 2. This is a roasted pine Stratocaster, Fender Stratocaster from 2020. I did buy it online. It is the second guitar I bought online, which is pretty risky move. It's like buying clothes online. But once I kind of figured out how to set it up and what all these things are, and you know what the truss rod and like all this different things that you can do, I thoroughly messed it up and I took it in and had somebody do that because I just don't know how to do it. Texas embraced you, yeah, with some thick humidity, but also love. Such fond memories of the Euro Tour. Yeah, gosh, that must be 9 years ago now. Incredible. The 48 hours I spent in Paris are just, you know, burned into my mind. You slay so hard. No, you. Code Veronica X. Favorite song that I wrote with my dad? Gosh, I would have to say that, you know, I didn't write Moonshot with my dad, but Moonshot stands out to me because it is the first time I added something to one of his songs. I think I was like 12 years old and we were kind of just messing around, and you know, so we've been doing it for quite some time. I need to get through these quicker. What's my favorite song from the new album? Oh man, that's really, really, really difficult. San Francisco is a real fun one. And I definitely, you know what? Over Now is a long time favorite. I mean, come on, we've been. That one's been a long time coming, and it came out so nice. I'll never forget just sitting in the studio with like 40 guitars just all in a line like this, and I could just go, I'd like this one, I'd like this one. It was an incredible experience. Okay, let's see. Hello, Sullivan. Hello, Lauren. That's my girlfriend. She is watching. Would love to see the band play New York. You know what? I know somebody in New York who could help us out with that, actually. Let's see. Excited to see you guys on the 24th. We're excited to see you too. Pleasure being on your Patreon. Yes, Gene, I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm going to have some new songs for that. Gosh, okay. Let's get to the bottom of this. Okay. Love the album. Me too. It was a fun time. Let's talk about Home Alone. I think this one's about a lot of things, right? So let's just take it. Do you know when the album's going to be on Spotify? I actually genuinely don't know that. I genuinely, authentically don't have that information. I think we make it, you know, available on Bandcamp to bring people to the website and all of that. And so yeah, I think it definitely by the time the show happens, I think that we should. My service keeps cutting off. Did you say hi? Yes, I did. Hello. Hello, sweetheart. Okay. So, Home Alone. It's about fending off home intruders when your parents leave for a vacation and forget you. No. I've been getting you for free. You're hoping you get me. Yeah, so I've been getting you for free. You were hoping you'd get me. That is about non-committal relationships, living in LA after graduating college, and just kind of, just sort of like having the same experience over and over again, and like listening to a song over and over again. You just kind of are like, well, what else is out there? I've been riding on that line. You wanna spend our drive fighting, flying, finding the time to get struck by lightning. So that's the people who I was hanging out with were in Los Angeles, right? So fighting, flying, struck by lightning, waiting to get struck by lightning as if that's ever going to happen. I just want to make my way home alone without you because you're annoying me. So it's a little bit of a snarky song about, wow, this person's personality is really not that great. I don't like them very much. Bye. And maybe feeling kind of bad and thinking like maybe I should stop doing that. Home alone. You've been acting like you're mine. Been acting all the time. So that's just, you're pretending to be committed when you're really not, and we're just sort of going through the motions of being in this is years ago, going through the motions of being in a relationship and kind of faking it without actually any of the real commitments. So, acting like you're mine. I don't have the lyrics in front of me, I have to just summon it. Acting like you're mine, acting all the time. Even though our signs align, stars die. I was so, and forgive me to anybody who's about astrology and all of that. I think that it's good to be passionate about things, and passion's good, and to be interested in things is good. I'm not interested in that, and having to talk about signs all the time, I started talking about the death of stars instead, because it just kind of like invalidates the whole thing, which is like not nice, but so even though our signs align, stars die. And I'm also, apparently I'm a tourist, which like, I'm not a tourist, I'm like live here, so I never really understood why my sign is a tourist if I'm not traveling. So stars die, fall into me, it's so roomy, so it's bigger on the inside than the outside. I'm really talking about the death of a star. I was trying to figure out how to talk about how a black hole happens in this song. So this is actually the moment why I was so excited to do the lyric thing. Fall into me, it's so roomy, shooting past her, I fall faster home. So it's like shooting stars and star collapse and just all that sort of stuff that I don't know the specifics about, but I know kind of happens. I think that's how a black hole forms, is the something happens where it burns out, but then it expands, and then there's like, it's just all the different atoms are too I don't really know. But I know that you go in the black hole and you go somewhere that's far larger than what it seems like. Yeah, that's what that... This song, like I said, it's about a lot of things. This was one of those, I like the way it sounds, let's find some words, right? Which is, up until recently, how a lot of my songs have gone, but now that's changing a bit. But where else does it go? Home alone. Okay, so then, been here for days, that much I do know, no. I wish I thought of something to say. That really means nothing. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. That is just what can I say over and over again? I guess that much I do know, and then the KNOW turns into NO. And so I could have, if I would have spent maybe 15 extra minutes before this, I could have like retrofitted meaning on top of that, but there's not any, like just straight up. It's just like a cool no, 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 no. So, then we get into the bridge. Fighting, flying, finding the time to get struck by lightning. I just wanna make my way home alone. Don't get a little bit sick of it, live a bit, recommit. So that's just about being very indecisive about what I want to do with my life, you know? Go home, get sick of it, leave, you know, live a bit, and then recommit to that, and just like, oh my gosh, like, what is the answer, you know? So that's what the bridge is about. Did I skip some? I think I skipped one. I think you turn on a dime as long as he's so fine. I was once that other guy. So like, this is one of those things where if, you know, if someone's willing to leave, this isn't something I personally experienced, but if someone's willing to leave somebody in like a dishonest way, then that could probably happen to you too, and you should take that as a red flag. So that's what that's about. What was it? Another guy. So I was once that other guy. If you could be so kind, jump ship, swim a bit, let go, and learn to fly solo. So that's like, you need to spend some time on your own, man. Like, you need to just, like, figure out who you are and what you want. I, didn't say that directly, but I certainly wrote it in the song. So that's what that's about. Kind of going back to the whole experience, first moving to LA and just like not really, kind of just like not liking the scene romantically there. And then there's a solo. I want chicken nugs. I want chicken nugs. I want chicken nugs. I want chicken nuggets right now. 'Cause I'm really hungry. Yeah, 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 yeah. So shockingly, that desire for chicken nugs does not fade between songs. It's so strong that it endures through the lyrics and through space and time and black holes and everything. You will find the desire for crispy fried chicken. You just can't escape it. It's omnipresent. It's kind of disturbing when you think about it. Like, you just can't escape the desire for it. But, just embrace it. Embrace the crunch. So yeah, folks. That is, those are the two songs that I wrote. I didn't get into Under You because that one's, a little heavier, but maybe next time we can talk about that a bit. But thank you so much for joining me. Before I head out, I want to just take a look at some of these comments because it's hard to keep track of. Let's see all of the comments. So we have got, speaking of Home Alone, have you seen the movie? I have seen many of them. I've seen both of them. I love those films when I was growing up. It's just great. The pain in those films, my gosh, the pain that those two robbers, you almost feel bad. Honestly, by the end of both of those films, like, the villain is almost the kid, now that I think about it, because it does get sadistic. I remember there is a moment where the robbers actually want to leave and they can't, and they keep getting hurt, and it gets pretty dark. Like, this kid is just gone total sadist on them. And it's actually kind of a horror film now that I think about it. Can you please do an online lesson? Play as Ghost of the Robot. Yeah, I would worry that the people tuning in would be starting from so many different places, but I do have lessons. I teach lessons. If anyone's interested, just DM me at Sullivan Marsters. I think I've got sullivanmarsters@gmail.com too. If you want to take lessons, I teach usually on the weekends. But yeah, I'm totally down to teach guitar. Is it possible to have the lyrics of the songs? I think we're gonna make them available on the website or something. Your voice is so pretty. Thank you very much. I was very insecure about my voice for a long time. I did not want to sing. I told my dad I'm never gonna sing. Jimmy Page didn't have to sing. He just played guitar. Not the right guitar. I need a Les Paul, that throaty thing, but anyways, but I did start singing and didn't really sound good in the beginning at all. You gotta find your voice. Gotta be really comfortable with actively sounding bad for a long time. It's really true with any instrument. Can I be green with envy over the ease with which you play that guitar? Yes, I know it's taking you years to get there and cost you blood, sweat, and tears. Let's be real, practicing sucks sometimes. Yeah, I've been playing since I was 12. I've most of the time at this point has been spent in a plateau, to be honest. But you just, I mean, there's still a lot more that I could do with it. There's like... So I could work a little more on the classical stuff, There's crazy jazzy funk. So I could definitely work on some of that stuff better, but usually the songs I write don't go too hard on that. I'm more interested in the interaction between the chords and the melody and just that whole land of exploration there, because you can make something sound very different depending on what chord you put under it. But yeah, no, I play guitar a lot. I love it. It's very, very fun. It was, I gotta be honest though, it really just bit me pretty hard to where I couldn't think about. I remember 6th grade, I just really didn't. I wasn't there. I was just thinking about guitar the whole time. I just could not stop playing it. The times it got difficult were in college. When I went and learned some actual real form, and I had to unlearn bad habits. That is what sucks. That is so much harder than just starting from scratch. Oh my gosh! If I can say anything, it's just do it right the first time, because you don't want to have to undo work. It's so hard. That's why most people quit. No astrology for the science guys. Lyrical thought process is so beautiful. Thank you. What is your songwriting process like? It starts a couple different ways. Either I'll be on the guitar and I will play something that is, it's just fun to play, right? And then I'll kind of, no, it doesn't say to me, I need nothing. Ooh, kind of find something to put on top of it that says something. So that's the guitar first version. And then the song I played recently just a minute ago, kinda made a difference on my mind. I've had that in my head for years. And so I went through a bit of a stressful time recently, and I just was sitting in my closet, and I was just like, kinda made a difference on my mind. And I was like, those two chords again. So, yeah, let's see. You might need to consult Brian May with all that astrology. Yeah, that astronomy stuff. Yes, he is the OG on that. Absolutely, Jenny H. David. You are right on that. I appreciate how much you are sharing of yourself here. Yeah, I'm completely winging it. I really didn't prepare for what, to say. So few songwriters are willing to say that it has no meaning. Let's see. Up the game for the next one by bringing a guitar. Yeah, I don't know. Without the guitar, it's like I'm nude, and so it's like, just like, hey guys, how's it going? Let's see. Thank you for being so open, mature thinking. Yeah, sometimes you figure stuff out. Yes, Gene, I am figuring it out, and I probably will for the rest of my life. And it's the journey. It's the journey. Let's see. Plus bonus nugs. Oh my gosh, there it is again. Chicken nuggets, inescapable. What is my favorite Texas activity? It is tubing. I really like tubing down a river with, cold beverages in a cooler that has its own inner tube. And then you tie yourself to all your friends, and then you go on like rescue missions to rescue your friends when they get separated, and it's very fun. So I would say so far that is my favorite Texas activity. My lovely girlfriend, who both asked me that question and invited me to inner tubing, showed me how fun that was. Okay, all right. I'm gonna be here all day, and I need to go record some bossa nova stuff. But thank you all so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to do this again. I can't believe never go live on this thing. So we'd love to do it more often. So thank you all, and to those of you who are coming to the show, I will see you then. And to everybody else, please just stay out of that heat. If you want to go outside, sometimes in the morning it's all right, but just stay cool, stay in the shade, stay hydrated. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you again. Adios.
Hey guys, it's James, obviously, half naked in a pool on a hot day in Los Angeles. First of all, this is an apology to anyone who showed up last night. We were supposed to do Behind the Music from the rehearsal space, and it was just too much. We were rehearsing with a new drummer, new drummer, and she turned out to be amazing, by the way. Savannah, 19-year-old. She's the drummer for TI-85, and they warmed up for us the last time we played the Mint, and they were really phenomenal. And our other drummer moved to Tennessee, so he moved to Nashville. So we were looking for a new drummer, and she was amazing. Yeah, she I realized, because what we told her was that you just listen to the master on the album, and then go to Spotify for other songs for the set, and rehearse with that. And she did that so much that I think 5-hour rehearsal yesterday, we never had to go back for any mistake that she made.
No,
we were just making. It was just us, and we didn't really have to go back for much. Frankly, we kind of just ran through it twice, so it was just little things. But she was perfect, basically. And okay, this is what happens, guys. A lot of drummers, even most, will bleed when they play drums. I think Drew, who played on our last show at the Mint, we sent out a little picture of all the blood on his pants, right? So it's common with drummers. She is so perfect.
Precise and just used to playing many shows in a day. we were worried, like, oh, you're going to play with TI-85, and then with that, she's like, well, I've already got a show tonight and 3 other rehearsals just this day, so we're like, okay.
Constantly.
You know.
She never bleeds. She never bleeds on the... Just insane. Yeah, I was worried about her arms, you know, because she's going to be playing with TI-85 to warm up tomorrow night, and then she's going to jump right into our set. And I was like, how are your arms? She's like, well, you know, I got to go from here to there and there to here, and I'm playing 2 shows, then 1 show. And I was like, oh, so that's an easy day for you. She's like, yeah, I'm fine. So it's going to be amazing. So anyway, we were doing that. We were also taking photographs. We had a photo shoot to do, and what else we wrote? We just
got some great photos.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We really did, and we just didn't do the behind the music. So Kevin is not here, but Sullivan and I are, and we thought that we would talk about our lyrics.
Yeah.
And so, do you want to go first, or what do you want?
Yeah, I can go first.
Yeah,
I think so I talked about Home Alone, Steady Hand last time, which leaves one more. Under You is very much a ballad, kind of more of a sad song. I wrote it when I was living and working in LA. And it's just generally kind of that, you know, the whole song really just captures a simple idea, which is that, you know, some relationships just aren't right, you know, and you have to, in a relationship where neither person is just doing anything egregiously wrong, but just something doesn't feel quite right, and you have to think about, you know, your side of the road and all of that, and it's just a very difficult, you know, so much we're just like, oh, this person's just terrible, they did all these things, and that's why that it didn't work out. But, you know, in lieu of that, sometimes it just ain't it, and it's about the indecision that one goes through in that time. It's about, you know, yeah, it's really just, it's, you know, I'm unmoored, self-assured, I can't decide, all of that stuff is just about, you know, is it me, is it them, is it me, is it them, is it me, is it blah, blah, blah. And eventually you just have to sit down and write a song about it and try to process it.
I think it's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah?
Oh my God. Yeah, there's so many lyrics that are so brutally honest. And it makes me think of me. I mean, like, I was like, wow, that's me too. I do.
Yeah.
Or it's. I'm not even sure if that's what you mean by the lyrics, but what I take from them, it seems like it's me. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's when you, I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
And then at a certain point, you've done so much talking that you just sing, and that's why the chorus doesn't have any real lyrics. You know, that is how you really feel once you run out of words. You just start singing it. And then when you can't sing, the guitar takes over and solos out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's just like very, very indecisive kind of song where it's like, oh, I've got to make a big decision and there's not a clear answer. That really kind of captures that one. And that's why it's like 5.5 minutes long, because it's like, you know.
So good.
Yeah, but years ago, you know, years ago.
So Louise is the song I want to talk about, and I think I wrote it after the second European tour that we had, and we did the first one, and I think the first one is when the word went out that we were actually a good band, because when we went back, the second one was even more off the hook. And we like sold out all these places, and then we went to Coventry, and we went to a hotel and slept. And the next morning, our manager comes and he goes, "Bad news. The hotel got robbed last night. At gunpoint, and they broke into the safe and they took all the tour money. So we don't actually have money for breakfast right now." And so we had to absolutely start from scratch. It was crazy. There was there oftentimes after a show or when we'd leave the hotel, fans would just chase us, and to a point where it would get a little dangerous, because they were, you know, like we'd try to outrun them, and they would like try to find us, and it was absolutely pandemonium. But there was there was a group of women who were helping us through this, and they were all really professional. Like one of them is one of the top people at the Department of Health in England. One of the people is a professional journalist. They're all like really, really intelligent women. And one of them was named Louise. And everyone called her Lou. And Louise was the one that was driving us from A to B all the time. And like I said, it was really chaotic. It was kind of hard day's night, if I can be honest. It was crazy, a little bit scary sometimes. And she was just unflappable. And she would also tell you, she would be like, "Shut up, James." You know, like, like that was the period I still had blonde hair, and I was just like, at first I was like, whoa, she's really honest with me, and then I came to really appreciate it because she just was honest. She just laid it on the line. And there was one time, literally, when there was a cop chasing us. She's like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." She just like, takes off. And London is just all of these serpentine streets and curves and roundabouts, and she could lose the cops basically. And she went down a one-way street backwards once because we went down. She's like, "Oh, this is wrong. Hold on," and she goes back fast, and it's like, you know, tease, you know, just like Jason Bourne shit, and we're like, no, and it's fucking, but she got away from the cops. So.
Yeah. Dang.
Can I still get arrested for that?
No.
Is anybody listening from England?
Jurisdictions,
You're in law school. Yeah.
Completely different legal system.
Suck it, cops. We got away.
You have a malicious prosecution upon you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I respect law enforcement
Yes.
in all countries, and I abide by all rules of the road at this point, which is true.
You weren't driving.
Which
you were
is
just
true.
you
I was
were a
not
passenger,
driving.
so
It was
you're
not my
good,
fault.
You're good. Yeah.
And I'm not telling people Louise's last name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then, so finally, before we finish, so I finished and I play it for, I called her Lou, you know, and I played it for her, and she's like, "Wow, that's a great song, except I hate being called Lou." And I'm like, "What? What?" And she's like, "Yeah, everyone calls me it, but I don't like it, actually." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I kind of need it."
Syllables matter in a song. You really can't. That's
Who tell you just where to get off and when to do it and just how to get there? Who take you from Leeds to Bristol through the cops and robbers and the one-way headaches? Yeah, that's Louise.
you got both in.
Yeah,
both in.
that's Lou. I just had it just
say that's
works,
Lou.
and I
Yeah.
was like, "Can I keep it?" She's like, "Yeah."
I wonder if she'll hear it now.
I hope she does. I hope she forgives me for the Lou thing.
Yeah.
And I hope she doesn't get arrested. I hope the statute of
I
limitations
know. I
in
wonder
London
if
is
she's
the
in
same.
jail right now.
There's no proof. I might be lying. I'm an actor, police in London. Can't believe me. Anyway, once again, we're really sorry for leaving you guys hanging last night. It was for a good cause. I'm just going to admit it. We were really busy and we didn't remember.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean we didn't care.
We just need to be
We
better
just
about
really
thinking
wanna
about,
be-
we should have scheduled it a different time from the very
Yeah,
start.
that's on me, man. That's on
all
me.
right.
I thought it would be cool to do it from the rehearsal studio
Yeah,
and be
it's too
playing
much,
and stuff.
many things.
It was just too much on the plate. So if you can forgive us, I'd appreciate it. And otherwise, for those of you who have made your way to Los Angeles, it's going to be packed tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. And for those of you who don't, we'll keep playing and hopefully near you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Adios, everybody.
I can't do this.
You can't see it? Okay, come on. Let me see. Little tiny button.
Bye.